Generosity. Sasa nimwambie ilianzia wapi? Kwa nini naifunza? Na kwa nini labda Mungu akafanya daktari nini? Aende. Sababu unajua alifanya introduction ya sermon yake. So hata nitamwambia tulisahau. So atarudia mpaka introduction. Ama nani anakumbuka? Alifanya introduction akaenda Eldoret. Kutoka hapo tukaigiwa nani Eldoret akapitia katikati kwa neema ya Bwana. Mioyo yetu ikapelekwa, mioyo yetu sasa nini? Kwa mioyo yetu Mungu amechomoa kajabu kingine kanaitwa generosity. Imagine, I want to ask you, because this is the voice of God. Imagine tumekuombea. Let me use it. Leo niko na kitu na Eric leo. Eric sijui kwa nini nakutumia leo. So imagine Eric tukuombea. Tukuombea. Na tunaambia Mungu tunatoka nini? Mungu akupeleke kiwango hiyo ingine. Na tunaomba. Naye Mungu aone Mungu atuangalie hivi atuchekelee. Atuambie nani mnaombea? Tunaombea Eric. Mnaombea nani? Wakalema. Ufanye nini? Biashara yake itoke hapa iende hapa. Mungu na mnaombea wakalema Hiyo haiwezekani. Kwa nini Mungu? Na umesema nothing is impossible. Mungu anasema ya kwamba he is not generous. Sasa tutaambia Mungu namna gani? Tunaomba, tumesweat. Tuna sweat. Hey God. Hey, we will say we shall make from one glory to another. To another. Then Mungu anasema, hata huyu nikimuinua, hata tukifungua dirisha za mbinguni, zote huyu atapatwa na kwashia. Ni obesity. Zote ni zake. Is not generous. Ask God, why do you value generosity? Why do you value giving? And when I'm speaking about giving, sio ile tuna ya modern kanisa unajua hiyo. Unaona hii tunahubiri kanisa. Sio hii hyper nini? I go to Canada. Then katika hiyo yote Mungu anasema is not generous. Nauliza Mungu, why? Kwa nini generosity si kutoka kupenda kwa moyo? Mungu anasema ya kwamba my nature is generosity. My personality ya Mungu ni generosity. Personality is generous. Kwa hivyo my personality ina move na watu wale wako na personality kama yangu. You can't do it. Personality ya Mungu. Mungu sio nini? Mungu sio nini? Wanaitanga sio mkonogamu. And when God speaks this, that majority of our hearts, God wants to take us to great heights. God wants to do great things in our life. But one of the challenges is we have been or brought up in a way whereby watu wengi wamelisiwa pale tulikuwa tunaficha chapo sikipikwa nyumbani. Ni watu wa kuficha chapo. Ni watu wakibarikiwa na kitu, ni watu wa kuficha. Watoto wanaiba wakipita ndio wanatoaga. Generosity. When I'm teaching this, it's not about the house of God. I will come even to the house of God. But the Lord is calling us. The Lord is saying, my nature is generosity. I am a generous God. And if you're not generous, there is nothing I can do. Then he said that generosity, it is a weapon of warfare. Because this is the only thing Satan does not do. Satan is never generous. He cannot become generous. He cannot become generous. Because even John 10 says, he is a thief. There is no thief who is generous. So that is, kwa sababu tukiomba ya kwanza, ya pili, Mungu anaongea mara ya matatu. Mungu akiongea 3 times in a church, I always take it as a topic in the church. Kuna ile aliongea ile tulikuwa tunashare about attack through bulls. Hiyo ni peleka intercessory. I go to that. So, one of the things is that God is calling us, and God is calling me, and God is calling each and every one of us. That are we generous? Are we generous in our substance? Are we generous even in our talents? Are we generous even in our time? Are we generous? How? No. If God can be able to speak unto us, and watu wanaomba, tunaomba, na tunachekelewa, tunaambiwa haiwezekani. The person, you can show now the image. Now I go to the world. Because I was decided to give you this man, a Chuck. Lakini jina yake halisi ni Charles Finney, not nini, Chuck Finney. I don't know that person. He died in 2023. Born in, was it born in 1931? Perhaps born in 1931. I want so that, because you know, imagine, nimebakisha kidogo kukwambia usimame you share. Lakini so ushukuru Mungu because you are here. Ushukuru Mungu. Mungu alionyesha one of us. Sunday school yetu wakienda vacation na ndege imeandikwa Combs. Hata hajui because it is one of the things that Mungu aliongea kitambo sana. Yeye hata hajakaa kwa kanisa sana. Anaona nini watoto. Sasa kununua ndege, it require people who are generous. Sio watu wana operate, sio biashara hizi tuna operate saa 20,000, 50,000, 1 million. Hizo ni za watoto. Abia umwambie biashara zile mko nazo ni za watoto. Abia umwambie wewe mwingine uko na yeye. Na sio kutusiwa. Wana mwina tu biashara to nini. Wakalema. Tu biashara to ana. No kweli. Sasa biashara yako tutakaa miaka ngapi tununue ndege nayo? Give me the history. I have given it. Now, I hope you are not Chuck Finney. He is called Charles Finney, but it's Chuck Finney. Let us go to the information I shared. Or I started the information I shared. Because I want to use the word, then I come to the church. I can be reading it. I don't know whether it's going to be able to project. Tuweza kutana baada pale ikosa usistruggle sana don't nini sana. I say that is Chuck Finney. He became a billionaire. I want to note that he became a billionaire, then quietly gave away $8 billion. $8 billion. He became a billionaire. Then he gave away $8 billion. He died in a rented apartment with a watch worth $15. Those who know Warren Buffett is Warren Buffett is number 6 now. Either 6, is it number 2? after Elon Musk. Elon Musk is number one. Number two there. Let's say he is top 10 in the world. Warren Buffett called him my hero. Warren Buffett called him my hero. He is my hero. Let us now read about the philosophy of the Charles Chuck Finney. He believed giving while living. He believed the theme of his life was giving while living. That was his philosophy. Giving while living. The idea of using wealth, of using time, of using energy to make difference while still alive. Not after you are gone. I'm reading it slowly. Making a difference while still alive, not after you are gone. He co-founded duty-free shoppers. In 1960. Which became a global empire and made him a billionaire. But instead of keeping it all, you can listen to Hijafika. Don't read, listen. Because I know Hijafika. Just listen, give me an ear. Because I don't want you to lose it. You are tempted. Because you don't have self-control? Okay, sir, let me read that. Okay, because then let me read that. He co-founded duty-free shoppers in 1960, which became a global empire and made him a billionaire. Continue. But instead of keeping it all, Chuck, that is Charles, there's used called Chuck, quietly donated to build schools, to build universities, and children hospitals. Continue. Giving countless people a chance at a better future. The secret for years, almost no one knew. Hakuna mtu alikuwa anajua what he is doing. Chuck gave an anonymous. No one could know. He didn't want recognition. He didn't want buildings named after him. Continue. He just wanted to help. While other billionaires build what? Kama ile ilikuwa Mombasa this week. Unaona kalishikwa Mombasa. And mansions. He just want to help others. Chuck lived modestly. Flying economic class. Continue. Inakata. Wearing a $15 Casio watch. I think somebody have jumped, perhaps. Okay. Where other billionaire build is wearing a $15 Casio watch, living in rented house. Thank you. He did not see wealth as something to accumulate. Rather, he sees it as move. He saw it as a tool. And he wanted to use that tool where he could see the impact. 1982, okay. 1982, Chuck founded the Atlantic Philanthropies, which could become one of the largest philanthropic foundations in history. Over the next 4 decades, he gave away more than $8 billion. To what? To universities and education programs, children hospitals, and healthcare facilities, scientific research, human rights organizations, aging and disability services. He gave so much that by 2020, the Atlantic philosophy closed because Chuck had given away every dollar. The hero. Even the world riches admired him. Warren Buffett once said, Chuck has set an example not only for people of my age, but for younger generations. Finney is my hero. He should be everybody's hero. Chuck inspired Buffett and Bill Gates to create the giving pledge. What is the giving pledge of Bill Gates? What is the giving pledge? Jesse Newman and billionaire. What is the giving pledge of Bill Gates? You don't know. I think that the giving pledge of Bill Gates is to give 70%. Is it 70% of wealth before he dies? He said that the daughter is comfortable, leave 10%. I think 80 or 90%. That is the giving pledge of Bill Gates. I don't know whether Nani must have entered to the giving pledge. You say that I'm this, but I have a pledge to give this. Let's continue. And he should encourage billionaires to give away the majority of their wealth during their lifetime. His philosophy was simple. What? I had one idea that never changed my mind, that you should use your wealth to help people. I want to note that. I had one idea that never changed in my mind, that you should use your wealth while you are still alive. And I said, I move on. Chuck Finney passed away at 92. At the end of his life, he lived in a modest rented apartment in San Francisco. Continue. He 15 was cast your watch. Wale tulikuwa wadogo mnajua ile watch ni aina gani? Wale tulikuwa nini of my age bit. He had given away his entire fortune, over $8 billion. Continue. I think Imesha. Okay, we can reach there. We may not. And he kept another to himself. It's okay. And then because that is just the word. I have taken you to the world. I don't want to take you to somebody called the one I mentioned in the morning. So when God wants to tell us, He wants to use us, and He wants to make use of us, it is not the little coins that God is interested with it. God told me, I am in need of vessels that can handle wealth. God is in need of vessels that the world can handle wealth. And unfortunately, majority of us, we cannot handle wealth. We cannot handle. Because right now, if you have 100 million, will you come to our service? Will you come? Will you wash? Will you go to internet? If God, this way is becoming secure. So God that is in need of vessels. He is in need. I am in need of vessels that can handle wealth. Majority of us, if wealth will take away your heart. It will take the fellowship. It will take the fellowship. And what will happen? It is wealth will make you lose eternity. It will make you lose eternity. Majority of us, we cannot handle wealth because it will. I'm not going to disclose, but it's hidden. There are some of us, they are unable to handle retro coins. Sasa, tukisidua, tukilemewa na 20,000, tukilemewa na 5,000, tukilemewa na 100,000, nini si tutaka hapo? Because our heart, we have not attained the personality of God. And the personality of God is generosity. So wakalema what is wakalema waiting for? Wakalema say mimi sina pesa mingi. Kwa hivyo anagojea nani? Anagojea Mama Ruth. Kwa sababu Mama Ruth ni hatatoa. Naye Mama Ruth anagojea nani? Anagojea Eunice. Kwa sababu gani? Eunice wewe ni wewe wakili. Naye Eunice anagojea nani? Anagojea Eric. Kwa sababu Eric nani? Anafanya na airlines. Kwa hivyo we are not generous and we want to push the burden to others. We cannot help others. God is asking, where are these vessels that I can use, which are generous, which are humble, so that I can be able to channel the kingdom resources. Like if Akina Chak could handle billion, and you are struggling with 110,000, what are we doing, saints? I remember the time about my friend called Mwangi. Tulikuwa tunafusa na yeye na youth service. Wakati ule alienda kufanya interview. So I got to request you now, if this is working, also use it too. Don't become distracted. I may not use. Don't worry about even the projection, apart from the voice. Apart from the voice. Are you together? So, he will go and say that when he have passed interview, mwenye kampuni akamwambia haujazoea pesa. Wengine wetu hatujazoea pesa na wokovu. Hebu uliza mwingine, umezoea pesa na wokovu pamoja? Siko pamoja. Umezoea pesa na muulize vizuri. Ikiwa ni mkama mume mutafie. Umezoea pesa na wokovu? Wengi, majority of us wanajua kuhado wokovu na ufukara. Wengi wetu tunajua how to handle wokovu na ufukara. Ukiwa hauna pesa unajua kulia nini, lakini gojea pesa siingie. Hata mchungaji hautaona kama ni nini. Ni wakati utaanza kuona kanisa tutaidhagia ni church na tunafanywa madharau, tunaambiwa nini. That is when unaachana maombi, unaenda what? You are not used to salvation and money. Ima umezoea wokovu na pesa. Sasa imagine you are in school na uko na 10,000 pocket money. Sikubii ya mama yako, sio school fees. How will you feel about your mom? Siakae mama nakuja huku kutusubua nini na negiriko mi. Some of us, even our wives, they cannot stomach us when you have money. And even some of us wives, you cannot become a woman in the house when you have money. We are not used. Our hearts have not acquired the personality of God. This is the problem. This is the problem. Unajua nilikuwa nachekelea my wife wakati ule alikuwa hubiri pale. Nikamwambia, nimwangalia hivi kasema, you are in your own world. Thank God where you are born. Ati unajua nini? How many of us used to know that when we were young we used to slaughter goats, ndio they jago kaige. Nikamwambia, sema kwenu huko ni nini? Kwetu kitu ile tulikuwa tunachinja ni sugura. Kwa sababu mamago kutoka hapo kwenda juu hizo zingine ni soko, ni za kutafuta pesa. Dembori. mnachinja mbuzi aje? Ati mchinje mbuzi. Dakuona. So because of that nature or poverty, we have not be able to have, and that is why majority of church, Agaria niko naongea, one of my friend anaitwa Pore, tulikuwa tunaongea na yeye. That is why tulikuwa tunaongea tunasema ya kwamba wale tulikuwa university, watu wengi wamehama kanisa. Na sema ni kubaya, wanaenda sita, wanaenda hot, wale walikuwa nini? Kwa sababu wanaona wamereisiwa na poverty. So wamekuwa kwa some churches kwa sababu ya nini? Ya ufukara. So wakipata class, wataka kwenda class ile inawafit. They are going to be poor even there. Because the problem, it is not the church. The problem is they have not having the personality to handle Christianity or salvation with money. Kwa hivyo, wewe uko na pesa kwenye nyumba ya Bwana, unaona watu wale wanatakiwa kuosha kanisa ni waajeri. Na utamudharau. Lakini sisi tunatoaga. Hiyo sio kazi yetu. Why? The problem is you have a personality problem with yourself, with the money. Nimeona mambo mingi sana kwa nyumba ya Mungu. One of the person, I remember we were in West. And I thank God was giving. But me by God's grace coming from a banking background, I knew what I forfeited. I knew Kennedy. So, and we had to calm down, and we are not saying that we are up. This person, I think, I got to hide the name, was giving with intention. And what was the intention? Intention was that is able to manipulate me to do some things. So when I refused, the person left the church. The person left the church. Nikajua hii ni shida ile ya watu wa Murang'a, Mama Ima. Poverty mentality. And when somebody have 50,000 kwao nyumbani, hawezi ongeleza mpaka brother zake, ako kiwango chake. Kwa sababu ni nani? Ni yeye ako na pesa kwenye familia. Saints, I introduce this, that God is a covenant. Let us read. I don't know. Let us read Deuteronomy chapter 7. Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 9. Because I pray that God shall not say that we are not generous. And hutu tumahaba tudogo tu pesa tudogo tunatusubua sana. Tunasuburiwa na gari gani? KBX 258T, gari mzee kuliko miaka 10. Nikena idwe. Deuteronomy 7:9. Let me start from Deuteronomy 7. Let me start from verse 7. Deuteronomy 7. The Lord did not set affection on you and chose you because you are more numerous than other people. For you are the fewest of all people. But it is because the Lord loved you and he kept oath, he swore to your forefather that he brought you out with a mighty hand and redeemed you from the land of slavery, from the power of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Know therefore that the Lord your God is God. I want to note that. Know therefore the Lord your God, he is God. He is God. He is faithful God. I want to note that. He is faithful God, keeping his covenant of love to 1,000 generations, or those who love him and keep his command. I want to know, but know therefore the Lord thy God, he is God. He is faithful God, which keepeth covenant. I want to note that word. God keep covenant. God keep covenant to what? God keep covenant to keep covenant
keep the faithful God, which keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him, and keep his commandment to 1,000 generations. Saints, walking with God and becoming a vessel that God need men who are walking with him with a covenant in their heart. The people of the world, Akina Elon Musk, Akina Chuck, they call it the giving pledge. They name it giving pledge. It is a covenant. They may not know God, but they have a giving pledge. Bill Gates is working with a giving pledge. Therefore, they are not growing well anyhow. They are growing their well by working with a pledge of working with God. Majority of us, our heart, they have not come to a place whereby that we have a covenant with God. Now this covenant, it is not a fumble, but now in the New Testament, it is from the heart. It is from the heart. Let me give you, for example, myself as I am serving, I have a covenant. I'm not a pastor. I am a covenant. I am a pastor at the covenant. And what is covenant? My covenant is I will preach the truth. I will teach the truth. I will walk with the God. Whether things are right or wrong, I am going to serve the Lord. That is my covenant. Mama Kalima, I know you can come and leave, but I will continue. You are not my driving force. Whether you give or you don't give, I will still preach this gospel. Whether you come and go, many has come, they go. The promises of God. But I have a covenant. The covenant I have of serving the Lord, it is not anchored on what the gospel is doing. That is why I'm not scared. I am not scared to teach the truth. I am not scared to rebuke people. I am not scared of preaching the truth. Why? I am a person at the covenant. I know. And God is looking for heart. Even in generosity, they have a covenant within them. They are not emotional. Covenant is not about emotion. If my wife in the morning, amuke aniambie, where at the church, mimi hata staki mambo yako, I will come in the church and I am going to preach. Wherever I travel, whatever I am doing, one thing I know that this is my place. Kenya is my country. I know about it. I am a person who is, and God is keeping part of his covenant as I keep part. There, who told you that we are in a grace period? Now the covenant, it is not just actual thing. Now our covenant, it is within our heart. And you just say that my heart is going to be who? I am going to assume the personality of God. And the personality of God is who? I am going to be generous. Praise the name of the Lord. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. I'm preaching this because I'm preaching with the pain, because that we are crying to God for you, but God is saying that I do not know. I don't know about 3 days. I don't know what you give. I always know. I don't know how you give, whether it's formation work. It is all. I don't know what God is doing unto you. But if you are checking Wakarema, you are checking whether Eunice has given, you are checking what is given, then what happens? The covenant is not about others, it is about you. I don't preach because others are preaching. I not giving tumefikisha wapi ili niongeze. No. I am helping the poor. I am helping the ministry. I am helping my neighbor. Not so that nionekane. No. But if Chucks, this is a billionaire, can die without knew the secret. Sasa nikuulize, unaficha chapo, unaficha sukari, unaficha shilingi 200, lakini unaenda kwa supermarket unachukua yogurt hii. Imagine unaficha mtoto wa neighbor hawezi kula nini, hawezi kula zinaitangwa aje apples. Apples unaficha, you cannot give your neighbor, unaficha yogurt. Na wewe unaenda kwa supermarket unachukua yogo, unachukua hii. You are taking things worth 10,000 or 5,000 useless things while other people are hungry, and you can hide them. Giving, it is not how much, my dear. It is in your ability. Everybody, there is nobody who is too poor to be generous. Don't be deceived. Nobody is too poor to be generous. That is why even God said that, don't appear before me empty-handed. No one. So, are you blocked? I'm not preaching this because we have giving day on 7th. No. This is because God says, anatucheka, tunalilia watu, lakini hao hakuna pahali atapelekana nao. This is hard message to be preached by a pastor. I'm not saying that money to come to the church. No. God, give me 2 Corinthians 8:7. 2 Corinthians 8:7. And when I say that there is a resource, be generous with your resource, also be generous with your time. Sasa, unaenda unaambia Brian, God will give open doors for Brian. Open door for Brian. Mungu anasema nikifungulia Brian akona enough. Unamuuliza he not have enough. Akona enough zake. Unamuuliza enough zake aje na za kanisa na kazi ya Mungu. Akasema hata nikimpatia hizo hasitawafikia na sitafika kwenye ufalme. Kwa hivyo zile akona sio zimemtosha. Therefore, as you abound in everything, in faith, in utterance, in knowledge, in all diligence, in your heart, see that you also abound in this grace also. That's the grace of give NIV. But just let us read together. Let us read together, saints. Let us read together. One we go. Let us read loudly. We are going to read it 3 times. Majority, we preach love. Majority, na ni kweli tunapendana one another. It is we want to grow in faith. We want to grow in knowledge. In his preaching, the way I'm preaching, in everything. But Paul is telling Corinthians, even on this, you need to excel in it. Let me ask you a hard question. As a pastor, I ask you a very simple question. If you want to know there's a problem in life, I got to use the church, but I not mean the church. I want to ask you, what were you giving 10 years from now, past? How much were you giving 5 years from back? If what you are giving 5 years from back, you have a problem of generosity. You have a problem of generosity. Generosity is if this is the personality of God. I don't want to give to what the world, the churches preaches. Apana. Nasema a new covenant from the heart. I go to come unto it. I have the whole series up from the heart. From the heart. From the heart. You cannot, you cannot be appearing before God for 20 years with 50 bob. Either God is unfair to you, or Satan have come in your home. I don't know that God. I don't know that God. I don't know that God. They are the personality of God is generosity. And whether are hidden or not hidden, akina Chakifine, akina Biruges, akina all those people look toward Elon Musk. Last time he said that when it is foundation of preaching the gospel, Charlie, who was assassinated in America, the first thing he said that he gave how many $1 billion to the cause for gospel. Then he withdrew all the funding he was doing to LGBTQ. Aka withdraw. Akasema, I don't want to fund vanity. Aka withdraw. Immediately he withdraw. What happened? Shares increases. He is multiplied. And he is working. Now, I want to ask you, are you going to preach to your 100 when God is saying he wants to raise your heart? You raise your heart so that you assume the personality of God, of generosity. Mimi hebu nimwambie ukweli, kitu hiyo nilisikia ilinigonga vibaya sana, that God can speak and say, I'm not going to do bless so and so. I'm not going to do this because it's not a generous heart. I remember the time I shared with you about Archbishop Harrison Nganga. Alienda kuombea a certain lady to receive a miracle. Akamuombea, nothing happened. Akauliza Mungu, kwa nini unamuombea na hanini hakuna kitu ina happen? Mungu akamwambia huyu anaweza umwambie nimhurumie. Kwa nini? Akaambia kwa is very mean, very mean. Her heart, she have closed her life with being mean. This is upbringing. Tulizaliwa pahali, wakati tunapika chapo, tunaenda kwa geti kama vijana, tunasimama hautakuja kwetu. Si ndio? Tumenane, unaenda kuja. Tumenane nini hatutaki nini ili asikuje kwenu. So that spirit is dominating us. And when we give, we don't give good things. I don't think I'm better. Even me, I have really struggled with it. Kuna wakati nilikuwa nataka kupeana kitu kwa nyumba. My wife alikataa. Nikamwambia kwani nini mzuri, akaniambia it was some clothing. Akaniambia easy hauwezi peana, easy napigia mtu akujie. Siende. You don't give what is bad. If you cannot use it, why are you giving it to somebody else? Is he inferior than you? Why are you giving the reject? Why don't sile ni mpya, siwede uchukue hapo umpe. Unampea kwa sababu wewe hauwezi enda nayo, si ndio? So yeye asaida na nini? Na hiyo. Nikasareda, nikaombewa toba. Niliokoka. So this is gender. So God is a giver. His personality, the personality of God is generosity. Before giving becomes a practice, it is God's personality. And God gave everything. Giving, therefore, is not a religious act. I want to note that. Giving is not a religious act. It is not. Sio dini, sio na kanisa. It is not religious. Watu wasema tunawakristo tunapeana. It is not a religious act. Sio ya kanisa. It's not a religious act. Giving is not a religious act. Giving is not a religious act, but a divine nature. It is a divine nature of God expressed. It is the divine nature of God expressed. Giving is not what? A religious act. It is not a religious act, but it is a divine nature of God expressed. So when somebody gives, It is not religious. It's not Christianity. It's not Islam. It is the nature of God being expressed, and it can be expressed by anybody. It is the nature of God expressed. Put it this: God hates people who hold, people who are selfish. They cannot go far with God. No query. It is the divine nature of God explained. When believers give, they step into the flow of God's own life. When believers give, they step into the flow of God's own life. They flow to God's own life. God, you flow. When you flow, you just flow in God nature. In God nature, you flow to it. It is not religious. Some say, hey, we give 10%, others will say this, we give for this. No, it is the nature of God. It is when somebody is giving, he is participating in his internal generosity. You are participating in eternal generosity. Mimi tu kwa hii nyumba. Ni mimi tu kwa hii nyumba. Ni mimi tu kwa hii nyumba. Ni mimi tu kwa hii nyumba. Wekeleni hapa. When God have given you, don't be proud to your sister and brothers. If it is one God has used you, give quietly. Shut up. We don't use it as a tool to rubber stamp our superiority. We don't use giving as a tool. Wewe ujulikane kwa mama. Wewe ni wewe. No. We don't. It is the nature of God. The nature of God is humility. The nature of God is love. The nature of God is not show off. The nature of God, it is in quietness, just like Chuck Finney. This is hard. I know you are wishing, we were telling God, God, I thank you for those who missed the service today. I have one challenge. One of my greatest challenges One of the greatest challenges is that I am a person in covenant. When we are not participating in the nature of God, and unfortunately or unfortunately, it is not about the church. I'm not speaking about the church. As I may not know, you may not know. I do not know when men are giving. I don't know. I don't know how you are giving. You may give your 50 shillings and it is worthy. Another one may give 200, but God is just okay. What kind of character is this? He is having 50 million, and this week he could have said, but now I will give it. No. If you are of God, you are the covenant. It's just like salvation. I don't know understand what others are preaching. I want to understand how people are winning minute to the kingdom of God, whichever the way. But I am at the covenant. God is doing this, and He will do this. That is why I've been telling even the groups. I'm telling the groups. That is why even the groups. It is not. Let me be frank. I got to make a hard statement. You will hate me because you hate me. You will hate me. Let me put this to you, by God's grace. If you choose to be mean, God will raise another person. Okay. Just boycott. Programs are women. You choose not to give academia. You'll be for a the shock. No. You'll be for a the shock. Even in your family, Eunice. Even in your family, you think that you are the. No. Because this is the nature of God. When believers give, they step into the flow of God's own life, participating in his eternal generosity. One, note this: giving is not law. Giving is not law. Sio sheria. Whether it is 30%, kuna wana mwingine kwa nyumba ya Mungu about, I have spoken. But because I am so feeling frustrated, I don't desire by 2 years or 3 years that people come, God raise them kutoka na huko nje. Na you are not raised by God. I will feel bad. Nitasichukua tu. Lakini nasema itakuwa nauliza, Eunice tumekaa na wewe miaka hiyo yote na nini na Mungu nini? Because of what? A heart which is not generous. Hii ni spirit tunapigana nayo. Ambie mwingine, wacha mikono gamu. Mwambie wacha mikono gamu. Sio uungu. Mwambie huyo sio uungu. Wacha mikono gamu. God will raise you saints. You are the children of the covenant. So, giving is not a law. Giving is defined DNA. It's defined. Defined DNA. You know DNA? It is the personality of God. Giving is not wrong. It is personality of God. It is not Sharia. Give. No. We have to give. It shall come back to you. Full measure. Shaking it together. Running off. It is not. No. I don't give my time. Let me ask you a question. If I get to this church, according to what this church give me, let me be frank, I could have proceeded Kitabo. I tell you for free. I tell you for free. I tell you for free. We have known whom, like I said, like Paul, I know whom I have believed. It is DNA. So one of the things is that in the Old Testament, you see, we are saying giving, it was even in the Old Testament, it was not a law. It was school of revelation, training the heart of the believer. In the Old Testament, say that the giving was revelation, training the heart of the believer to recognize, in the Old Testament, whether it is 10%, fast fruit and others, it requires school training the heart of a believer to recognize God as source. Number 2, to recognize God as king. Number 3 is to recognize God as a shepherd. So, in the Old Testament, whether it is giving, whether it is tithe, it is Mungu alikuwa anataka mioyo yetu. Saa hii tukiwa wa Kristo, mnataka sheria? Hapana. Roho wa Mungu sasa ako ndani yetu. Tuko na DNA ya Mungu. DNA ya Mungu ni gani? Ni upendo na kupeana. Hii ndio DNA. Haitaki sheria. Sheria iko wapi? Iko kwa mioyo yetu. Na kwa nini? So that you recognize God as a source. God is a source. God. Let me give I can take maybe to some of the gifts. We had the tithes. We had the silikuwa sinaitwa wave offering. Wave offering. We had the heave offering in the Old Testament. Why did God told? Let me take for example. Why did God told them to give tithe? God was saying that even when you are receiving that, parting with something is painful. Like at the first, did you have the 100%? So this was a constant reminder. And even today, I shall look today, it is a constant reminder that God is a source. God is a source. God is my source. My source is not my business. My source. Now that is why even these people, even they give. They have portion. They give. They recognize every deity. In the morning, I say, every deity need to be what? Possession what? Possession what? Possession one. In the spiritual battles, if your deity is number 2, the deity that is given possession 1, take it over. Let me be frank. You may pray. This is, I know I'm teaching a hard thing, but in the spiritual warfare, vita zinapiga, tuseme mnapigana watu wawili, huyu anatumia witchcraft na wewe uko kwenye nyumba ya Mungu. Huyu wa witchcraft to offer something that is possession 1, and you offer something in you give it to in your heart, it is number 2, you lose. Because I like the way Michael said, because in the spiritual atmosphere there is no pardon, there is no forgiveness. It is battles. Majority of Christians, that is why the Bible says Abel offered and Cain offered, and it was acceptable. Do you know why God told Abraham to offer Isaac as the only son? Why did he ask? Kwa sababu in that culture, ilikuwa the culture, mtoto wa kwanza, when the gods walikuwa na offer, akina Morek walikuwa napewa watoto. When fire inatengenezwa, they could offer children as a burnt offering. And in the spiritual atmosphere, what is the Satan asking? Mine, they give me a child. Can you give? Do they have used to annex it? They can give their children. And God told us, let us see. Go to Abraham. Abraham, offer your beloved child. When he was about, stop. Because in the spiritual atmosphere and in the spiritual life, the giving is what is the possession of your God in your heart. What is the possession? So when you are doing drums, my brother there, if God is number 2, stop it, go home. It is hard. Every guy be a kid to bad. In worship, if God is number 2, wachana nayo. Usikuje kanisa na uambie mchungaji na kujia recommendation letter. Because God is possession 2 in my life, I have come. Stay at home. It is a hard message because in the spiritual atmosphere and in the walk with God, when you give number 2, any spiritual deity, now one given number 1, take it over. Take it over. Christians are being deceived. I am going to come when I shall maybe come back to this. That grace did not take away some things. It enforces them. Grace has made people, it does not, grace does not eliminate, it takes us deeper. And you need to take that. That grace does not eliminate the law. It does not eliminate giving. It does not eliminate worship. Grace takes us deeper, does not eliminate. It is grace that I can serve the Lord when it is good time or a bad time. I will serve the Lord. Whether, I like it, that whether I am troubled or not troubled, whether I am offended or not angry or not angry, I will not abandon. I will not abandon. I see people abandoning their place of ministry. That is dangerous. Don't abandon place of ministry. If this is covenant, this is recklessness in the house among the Christians in giving substandard sacrifices to God. Is it hard, Beatrice? I want to help you as my dear children. For example, if, my brother In my brother right now, you have taken an oath. I will be in Ramses. That is a covenant. Don't joke with it. It can help you. It will help you. God is a covenant. You have been faithful, my daughter. I will be faithful unto you. It is not when I feel. If you are praying God, I tell you, God, I need a girlfriend. God akai mwaka moja, miaka mbili before akujibu kupatia girlfriend. Hao wengine watu wameoa. Nini? You are going to be there. And then I told you for free. Even though you see KBX, kuna wakati tulikuwa mifugo iliharibika tukaifugia. Ilikuwa how many days? I didn't tell. Ni mtu iliharibika nini gearbox ikaharibika, tuliifugia kule. I was not concerned with anybody. I will still serve God. It is not KBX that make me to serve you people. I speak this honestly. Without it, we will come to the service. We are the covenant. It is not emotion. I don't serve through emotions of my wife. I don't know to serve the Lord because we are paying school fees, paying rent, we have done everything. We are in a good suit. No. Why? Because I know God is a source. I give because you are recognized. Why do you give? Why am I giving my offering? Why am I giving to the poor? Why am I supporting the cause of God? Why? Why am I doing it? I am recognizing Jehovah is source. And then this must be number one. Position one. I always remember when I was Nipomarisa Nikeju. Yeah, Nikeju. I went to church here in ACK in Gedorai. And I always remember that sermon. That sermon was preached by the Reverend Jinarake. Alituuliza, he gave a parable akasema that I could identify with it. Wakati tulikuwa vijana, tulikuwa tunaenda kuwida antelopes. Lakini mamagu hakuwa anajua ninaendaga. So usikai mwambia. So tunaenda place na huko inaitwa Kenya Jero, tunaenda tunasukuma nini the ni antelope, tunakibia tunaenda na kirioka, unajua inaruka, tuko na Mungu mnapitia kwa nini. Then one other thing is maybe antelope itashikwa pale na huko kwa mto Godo ndio inashikiwa. Mbwa sinakibia nini? Do you know what? Hata mbwa simekibia kutoka na huko Rwadie na huko nini zote, unajua sitapewa nini leftovers mahogo, sinapewa nini mbwa. Majority of us tunaendaka kuwida na Mungu, tunawida na Mungu, tunawida tunateremka na Mungu, tunateremka na Mungu, tunateremka na Mungu, tunateremka. Wakati wetu tunamekelea antelope, we give him skins. That is why you find that the people give leftovers. Utaona wakarema, na sisemi ni wewe, utaona unataka kupe mtu uga ile unaona itaharibika. Huyo unapatia ni Mungu, sio mtu. Sisemi kwa nini umekana kitu, umekana go for 5 years. Na hii ningepeana. Eda uchome. It must giving is not disposing what you don't want. It's not giving the it's not. Now we need to teach people in the church. Giving is not disposing what you don't want. It is not giving what you have in excess. Hiyo nilifunzwa na my wife. Akaniambia iko naona isi go ni excess. Iza tu hakuna mtu anapeano. Pigia mtu wa marimari akuje abadilishe. Simekaa hapa mwaka mmoja na hatukufikiria kupea mtu. Siweka hapa tuletewe karai. Because when I give, I want to give that in kitu mimi naifanga. Iko sawa. Iko sawa, I can give. Lakini tumeambiwa nini? That is not. The thing is, God is calling us because we are recognizing God as a source. When you are giving a tithe, it is not a sharia. You are recognizing God as a source. And therefore, you are getting the DNA of God. Now, mweza eda juu. That is why I love the song. Kila siku tunapa juu. Tunapa juu. That is what. Lakini, how can you remain? How can you remain with the 50 bob for 10 years? There is a problem with you. You are not serving the true God. I can tell you directly. You are not either serving the true God or you have a problem. That is not God we serve. You cannot be fluctuating on the tithe or anything. The 5 bob, no. And you have been a Christian for 20 years. There is problem with your belief system. There's a problem. There is a problem. The problem. It is hard. Some will misinterpret this message. I must say. So you are recognizing God as king. When you are king, you are recognizing God as king. That is why, like it was called heave offering. And heave offering. Ulikuwa unabeba nyama inaenda kwa kuhani na kuhani alikuwa anaifanya hivi. To heave is like this. Anairusa juu, anaileta chini. Anairusa juu, anaileta chini. And that is heave offering. They were saying, it came from God, it came to us. It came from God, it came to us. That is heave offering. And even today, we always say, it came from God. It came from God. It came from us. And then what could happen? The priest could cut. Alikuwa ana cut. Iyo ni yake. Alafu, iyo ingine unaweza kukula. I will make a hard statement to us. I will make a hard statement to us, which I know it is going to be misquoted. Let me be frank. If you can feel pain, in any church you will go, when it is well with the ordained ministers, like let's say like me, Akina Mawa, with the priest, if you can feel pain, meeting Mawa, enjoy something, I tell you for free, leave the church. Don't ask for another thing. Leave the church. I tell you the free. If you can feel pain, like if you get something, uwe na kakuku, usikie Pastor Mawa amenunuliwa. Na heda nini? If you can feel pain, heavy offering, it was a God way providing for the priests. So, if you can feel pain when your priest is eating, you are not worthy to be there. Wave offering. This was wave. Walikuwa nafanya hivi. It used to be waved. And the priest could wave it. And was saying, from east to west, all is God. We offering. That is why we bring offering. Offering here, why we bring it is because we say, from east to west, God is the owner of everything. God is owner. Then the priest could eat literal, then such. This was a spiritual wave. And even today, we wave and we heave. I ask you, what do you take to the king? And when I say it is not only the church, are you getting me? King can be different. Even the people around you. Don't give leftovers. Are you together, saints? It is near. So we see, look to the first fruit. It was honoring God as the beginning. Do you know majority of us? Let me sing. You know, we say we are not at the door. God opened a door for you. By the way, God opened a door for you. And when God opened a door for you, I know. But you know, the first thing, even the first salary that you receive, unakula. And you know, even though, okay, let me become a bit honest. Even though you hate God, see, then you give to the poor. How comes the praise? Majority of us, it is new. It is the new. What do you go and go? The first fruit I tell you, God, you are the first. This is the new. And no one could eat first fruit, could eat before the first fruit is taken. Recognizing God. So God, I come to your house. I go to your house. This job, I trusted you, Lord. This was a new venture. Out of this, God, I was able to get 200 shilling. I am going to use 50, oh Lord, to recognize you. You are the true God. The first fruit was eaten. Imagine, the first fruit was eaten by priests. It was not because God, nifile tu siku hizi makuhani tuko na tabia baya. I'm not saying about kuna tabia baya iko, si ndio? Sisemi nasema ni. Majority of us, we get, it is the first job, it is the first increment, it is the first thing unakuaga. If it is ready, ukiingia kwa account, kwa salon, niweke ya 3,000. Unaweka ni before anything. Kwa salon. Unapiga, mom, nitakuja weekend. You are in the Facebook, buying. I want to promise you, if you don't have the DNA of God, it will take away from you. If you don't have the DNA of God. But that is nature of God. That is where Christians are losing. It was from, God, when he comes, uende town, ukute mtu anauza viatu, upime, uende town, ukute mtu anauza viatu, upime, ununue, uende mwingine, ukute Nigerian hair, ununue, uangalie umetumia 5,000 buying things which are not of any value. But even God cannot remind you. The Spirit cannot remind you. There is all-time circle. You need to invest for the future. You eat. What will happen? When there will be fight in the spiritual realm, when there are people who will be fighting you through witchcraft, tutakuona na few sasa, utakuja, God, pasi, kuna vita kwenye kazi, wananionea. Sasa, how can I help you? Okay. I am preaching this with tears because I felt bad that we are not generous in our hearts. I don't preach about money. I don't preach about giving. And I don't preach about priesthood. I thought these things within us, we are above them. I don't believe akina Miri muweza kuwa na issues kama ladies that these should not, some things should not be mentioned among you. They should not be mentioned among you. If munataka kuinuliwa na Mungu in a great way, love God, walk, hear the teaching of the Lord. If I deceive you, I give you a leeway. Don't do what I'm telling you. You know what Joe say? If I'm lying to you, this is at night. It was said at night. Yeah, today night. God, I had a great conversation. I think God spoke to me, came to me through, with all due respect, Apostle Murezi, from the one who was here. And he spoke to me. We were just in conversation. It was also, although it was regard to the church, that there are people who are struggling with loans. People are struggling with loans. They are struggling with the debts. They are struggling with the debts. Pray with them. It was tonight. So when I heard that people we are struggling, pray with them. One of the things that is that people are struggling because they are not honoring. What you are here, every time you are struggling, and I like that is God the first. Are you with covenant? Bwana Yesu asifiwe. So we are saying, at the grace, this become principle of giving God the first praise in all increase. The principle start our opportunities, not about money. We're giving not about our money only, even about our opportunities, about the blessing, about the time, about devotion. Let's go fast. Is God first. It's God first. I know when God shall allow, I shall teach, I shall speak others, but I cannot finish it. But how is your heart? How is your heart? No, you think that, it's not about people see. It's not about people see. Unajua kitu ile imetufuja moso in Africa. Sorry to use this, ni kitu ya matade. That we are saying that because Sunday school they are going. Sunday school they are going for trip. They have I told them that all the offering which I'll give on Sunday